or November 1st, 2021.
We almost had a 4-point coming home down below Stevens Point. You know where that, just below where you put the new bridge in? Come right out, and I slammed out the brakes. I thought he was going to hit me, but he didn't. That took me a year. Deer are running, that's for sure. Yeah. You've been out since first day?
Couple times. Busy.
When Mary sent it, I don't know if you tried to send me my email or what, but we got a thing that saying she sent us something, but there's no subject and it wouldn't come through. But then later, it was on Facebook, so Dee saved them off Facebook, those pictures and nonsense.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she, and we're getting the same thing with, from Vicky sending out her, Jeannie's information. It shows up as a text, but you go there and there's no subject and it won't load. I don't know if it's. Dee had a doctor's appointment this afternoon and I figured we'd be back in plenty of time, but we stopped for dinner. Took us an hour. We asked to speak to the manager. The manager was our waitress. So what could that do? Didn't get a tip, that's for sure.
Well, it's 7 o'clock, we call the meeting to order, so we stand and salute the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Recording meeting. I am as well.
We have no secretary. Our secretary has resigned. Keith, I believe, will record 10 minutes tonight.
Well, I'll record if we get a secretary. Right, we'll figure out one, but at least the record will be recorded.
Bill list for minutes.
Yeah.
We have some here.
She forwarded me the minutes for October 4th. Okay. Minutes of Structure Borough Council, October 4th, 2021, regular meeting. The Structure Borough Council held a regular meeting on Monday, October 4th, 2021 at 7 p.m. at the Baptist Church Social Room. Secretary attended by phone. Present was President Kurt Rohn, Keith Payne, Donald Haynes Jr., Darrell Haynes, Mayor Jack Dalton, and Jason Heeman. Absent were Marianne DeBelco and Charlie Lubchuk. President Kurt Rohn called the meeting to order at 7 p.m., Pledge of Allegiance. Mayor Jack Dalton stated he was recording the meeting. All motions were recorded by roll call votes. The minutes were read by Mr. Payne, let me backtrack. The minutes were read. Mr. Payne made a motion to approve the June 7, 2021 minutes, seconded by Mr. Haynes Jr. Motion carried. Mr. Heeman opposed. The minutes were read. Mr. Payne made a motion to approve the July 21st, 2021 special meeting minutes as read, with correction of .14 acres instead of 1.4. Seconded, Mr. Haynes Jr. Motion carried. Mr. Heeman opposed. President Rohn abstained. Mr. Heeman wanted it stated that he was not personally notified of the special meeting. The Treasurer's report was read. Mr. Haynes made a motion to approve the Treasurer's report seconded Mr. Haynes Jr. Motion carried. Mr. Heeman opposed. Mr. Haynes Jr. made a motion to approve the bill list, which was presented. Seconded President Roan. Motion carried. Mr. Heeman opposed, and Mr. Haynes abstained. Correspondence. Demi Travis, the Secretary-Treasurer, read her letter of resignation. Mr. Haynes asked her if she would be willing to stay on just to sign checks to pay bills until the council can find someone. She agreed just to sign checks and pay bills for $125 until December 31st, 2021. Mr. Haynes made a motion to accept Demi Travis's letter of resignation to pay $125 per month for her to sign checks to pay bills until December 31st, 2021. Seconded President Roan. Motion carried. Mr. Heeman opposed. Mayor Down asked about liquid fuels money for Carpenter Road. A letter from PennDOT was read. It stated that the estimated amount for liquid fuels for 2022 is $25,607.95. New business. Mr. Haynes made a motion to approve an agricultural permit for Stephen and Virginia Williams at 62 Chattagee Creek Road, Struck, Pennsylvania. Seconded Mr. Haynes Jr. Motion carried. All in favor. President Roan read the fire contract with Thompson Hose Company. Mr. Haynes made a motion to accept the 2021-2022 Thompson Hose Company contract and send the amount collected within the fire fund account. Seconded President Roan. Motion carried. All in favor. President Roan read a letter from Mr. Heeman. His letter was to contest the sale of the community hall. He was not notified of the meeting on May 18, 2021, and he attached a petition that 58 residents signed. Mr. Haynes made a motion to extend Bill Picus's excavating deadline for the Fairmount Road CDBG road work until November 19, 2021, due to COVID and work crew shortage. Seconded President Roan. Motion carried. All in favor. Mayor Downton brought up a rotted sluice pipe on Fairmount Road that is causing a hole in the road by the guardrail. Mr. Haynes said he will look into it. Mayor Downton even showed a picture to the council. Mr. Haynes Jr. made a motion to sell .64 acres with the community hall together with an easement for access to the same to High Works LLC for the sum of $65,000, and further that Struck Council undertake any and all action necessary to complete the subdivisions of the property and to sell the same to accomplish this result. Seconded President Roan. Motion carried. Mr. Heeman opposed. This started a discussion on the easement. Kristen Potter and Gail wanted more clarification to protect the memorial property. The easement was read in full to help explain the detail of the easement. Kristen Potter stated they should not be allowed to use the door on the side of the building. Professional service agreement. American Rescue Plan was read. Mr. Haynes made a motion to table. Seconded President Roan. Motion carried. All in favor. Mr. Haynes made a motion to look for a secretary-treasurer. Seconded President Roan. Motion carried. All in favor. There was a brief discussion on the owner of the hall and the sale. Mr. Haynes Jr. made a motion to permit Chris Miller to purchase up to 2 triaxle loads of anti-skid. Seconded Mr. Haynes. Motion carried. Mr. Haynes made a motion to authorize Keith Payne, Mary Ann DeBelco, and Darrell Haynes as a majority to purchase property on behalf of Struck Borough. Seconded Mr. Haynes. Mr. Heeman deposed. Frank Monaco III stated that council should remove the door on the same side of the building as the memorial. Mr. Haynes Jr. made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Seconded Mr. Haynes. Motion carried. Mr. Heeman deposed. The meeting was adjourned. Respectfully submitted by Demi Travis, Secretary Treasurer.
Any corrections or errors or corrections in the minutes?
You read 0.64 acres.
That was, where was it?
Second page.
Right here. Is it? Yes, Mr. Haynes Jr. made a motion to sell the .64 acres with the community hall together with an easement.
I believe that should be 0.74, but that number needs to reflect what's in the subdivision.
Is that a correction then?
My correction is that that number needs to reflect what's on that subdivision. I don't have the subdivision in front of me. If it's 0.64, they'll stand as they are. If it's 0.74, it'll be 0.74. It'll be as what's on that subdivision for acreage.
Reflect acreage on the subdivision. I'm going to mark this. I'm just going to circle it.
Okay, that motion goes into the minutes. You made a motion to correct whatever the,
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as long as the acreage for this, within the minutes reflects the same as the subdivision for the community hall property.
Was that on the agreement?
What was on the agreement?
The acreage? What it would be? I got the agreement from last meeting here.
Okay. What does it state?
There's nothing on it, just about the,
Okay.
this is declaration of easement, egress and regress. Was it on there?
Okay, so I just made a
I don't
motion
know if that will be.
to, have it read the same as what's on the survey of the subdivision for the community hall property.
correct.
This one here is a resolution that you did, 2020, there's no other number on it. You've got it here, .64 acres.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. If it's 0.64, then it'll stand as they are.
Is that what you
To
had said?
reflect, whatever reflects.
The .64 acres.
But I made the motion, if it's 0.64, they stand as read, and if it's a subdivision, it's 0.74, or whatever that number is what it'll be.
Okay,
I don't have the subdivision in front of me.
I'll
Was
send
there any land added on to it after the original thing?
No, whatever the survey of that subdivision is what it is.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes with that correction.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Opposed? Please vote.
Give me one moment. Just for the record, can we verbally state, so make it like a roll call?
Sure.
Okay.
I do have one question on it. Didn't you put your letter in, a letter in the council last meeting? That wasn't in the minutes, was it?
Yes, and
Yeah.
it stated that there was a letter.
There was a letter along with the signatures.
Supposed to be attached, yes.
Okay, we're gonna have a roll call vote on this. Myself, yes. JR?
Yes.
Darrell?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Jason?
Opposed.
Okay, did she send you a treasurer's report? A copy of the treasurer's report?
Struck Borough balance sheet detail. Okay, current fire fund total, $4,492.15. General fund, total general fund, $37,657.13. And this was as of October 31st. Liquid fuels, $3,786.29.
What was that again?
$3,786.29. And the UCC total is $2,629.31.
I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as read.
Okay, the motion's on the floor to accept the treasurer's report as read.
I'll second it.
Okay? You want a roll call on that, or just?
Yes.
Everything, so we have it on there, please.
President Barone, yes.
Donald Haynes, yes.
Darrell Haynes, yes.
Keith Payne, yes.
Jason Newman, opposed.
Okay. Did she have a bill?
Yes. Bills to be paid. November 1st, 2021, Penelec, $17.48. Penelec, $84, is that correct? $84.01. Tri-County Independent, $23.20. Demi Travis, $111.60. Keith Payne, $15.89. And Ron Bouger Fisher, $1,130.
I make a motion to pay the bills.
Motion's on the floor to pay the bills.
I'll second that motion.
Could I see Ron Bouger's bill?
Second.
I was not given, this is what I was given.
So at this meeting, there's no bills present except for this sheet.
That's what I was given.
So you're gonna pay the bills without an actual bill here.
Yes. If there's any difference, we can make adjustments at the next meeting.
Okay,
Can I have a copy of that bills from Ron Bouger?
can we finish this motion?
Well, it's a discussion, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Well,
We have a
motion.
motion on the floor.
Yeah, you
It's a
need to
second.
discuss between motion and
Yeah.
second.
Okay. Where are we at?
Roll call.
Roll call. President Rowan, yes.
Donald Haynes Jr., yes.
Darrell Haynes, yes.
Keith Payne, yes.
Jason Newman, opposed.
So, can you get me a bill of Ron Bouger's, copy of Ron Bouger's bill?
At some point in time when we get it, yes.
Did I get it?
So am I privy to that or not? You're saying yes or no?
Yes.
At some point in time when we get it, yes.
Could I have that within the next 30 days?
If we get it, yes.
Aren't you borough council, but you should be having it now?
That's your opinion. Continue on.
Okay. We'll list the correspondence. I have some correspondence here. Mary Ann Buffalo, to whom it may concern, please consider this email as my official resignation from Struggle Borough Council as of this date, October 15th, 2021. Circumstances no longer allow me the time needed for this office. This resignation will include Struggle Borough Hall Committee and Road Committee. I wish council success in all future ventures. Mary Ann DeBalco. So we elect another council member.
I'll make a motion to accept Mary Ann DeBalco's resignation.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, President Rowan, yeah.
Donald Haynes Jr., yes.
Darrell Haynes, yes.
Keith Payne, yes.
Jason Newman, yes.
Okay. New business?
I do have correspondence from Scott Township.
Okay.
There is no date on it, but Struggle Borough, dear Struggle Borough Council, due to unforeseen circumstances, we currently have no employees at Scott Township and therefore will not be able to perform winter maintenance on the Kellogg and the Fairmount roads for the 2021-2022 winter season. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Sincerely, Laura Travis.
You got anything else?
No.
Okay, move on to business.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to extend Picus excavating deadline on the Fairmount CDBG road project to May 31st of 2022.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, President Rowan, yes.
Donald Haynes Jr., yes.
Darrell Haynes, yes.
Keith Payne, yes.
Jason Newman opposed.
You know what Bill's thoughts were on that?
As far as what?
Is he maybe gonna put the top on this year, or is he just totally cancel it?
Realistically, there isn't time enough to do it. I'll make a motion to hire Chris Miller for winter maintenance for Fairmount and Kellogg Road through April 30th of 2022, and give him the ability to buy an anti-skid as needed.
I'll second that motion.
President Rowan, yes.
Donald Haynes Jr., yes.
Darrell Haynes, yes.
Keith Payne, yes.
Jason Newman opposed.
Motion carried.
I'll make a motion to enter into an intergovernmental agreement and contract with Thompson Township for non-winter maintenance through October 31st of 2022 for Penn Hill Road, Carpenter Road, and Kellogg Road.
I'll second that motion.
President Rowan, yes.
Donald Haynes Jr., yes.
Darrell Haynes, yes.
Keith Payne, yes.
Jason Newman opposed.
Is that a written contract you have with these folks, or just?
At that point in time, yes.
Any other?
Could I get a copy of that agreement?
At that point in time, yes.
What is it?
What is the point in time?
I guess when Thompson writes it up and gives us a copy of it.
Will there be any bills paid before the contract's in?
Well, if the contract probably comes in July and they've done work, maybe yes, but in the past, they've always done a contract before they did road work, so. I would expect the same from them.
Do you have any amount for Chris Miller? Kellogg Fairmount?
I don't, whatever his going rate is. I believe it's the same hourly rate as last year. And Chris plowed by the hour.
What was that now, you know?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't.
Still don't suppose it should be put out for bid, huh?
Do you remember
Do I remember what?
what you just asked him?
Do I remember? I know what I asked him.
Okay, what's next, please?
So what does that mean, if you remember? Sure got us all lost.
What
You
he
missed
charged, that's what you want to know.
I didn't ask what he charged. I just asked Darrell, or any of his, don't you suppose he'd probably consider putting it out for bid?
Well, we could have, but we made a motion to hire Chris at this time of year.
So if it goes over the budget or amount, then what?
Well, we're good up to 20,000.
Correct.
Well, the other thing is the budget. This is a copy of it, pass it around, everybody look at it, I didn't make any more.
Do you want Thompson Rivers to work on the budget? No copies?
it's just this month's bills.
Do you have a copy of last month's bill?
Do I know? I was off. Kurt, do you have a copy of last month's bills?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think we had a copy of it here, did we? She read it off.
I don't
It's on the
recall.
phone.
She read it off. Is there any other business to discuss with Mrs. Weatherill?
I'll make a motion to advertise the proposed budget for 2022.
Motion's on the floor.
I'll second it.
Advertise it for 2022. President Rowan, yes?
Can't hear you. Question on this.
I vote yes.
Doral Haynes, yes.
Keith Payne, yes. This was motion to advertise.
What you got on there for the fire fund, like $5,000. I brought this up several times throughout the year. You guys change taxes, and by borough code, it says if you change taxes, you have to do it by ordinance. You did not do this year by ordinance. So all the money you collected, whether it be general or fire tax, you did not do it by borough code. And that's a borough code, and you guys.
Change taxes in terms of millage?
Right.
Okay.
And you've been notified, I told you right from the start of last year that you didn't do it. So all the money that you guys collected is really not collected on the right basis, how you collected this money. You doubled the fire tax.
So what's your solution?
My solution would be,
Make an order.
you guys go back and pay what the money was, and people get their money back, and you guys pay it.
Well, have
You
right
do it
at it, have right at it, until you get a court order, they isn't gonna come, so pursue your court order and have at it.
You guys were notified, and you just ignore it. You didn't want to do anything by ordinance.
Well, again, when you get your court order that says otherwise,
I didn't say I was getting for it.
okay, then
Maybe
I just want to question why you guys wouldn't follow borough code.
maybe someday we'll do something right, Jack, I don't know.
When was that millage changed?
I can't answer you that one back.
It wasn't last year. When was that millage changed?
For the start of 2021. So it was in last year's budget.
And what was it changed from to, and what was it changed to?
I'm not
Go back and
sure.
look, you know, the fire tax was doubled.
No, the fire tax hasn't been doubled,
It was this year from previous years.
no.
The fire tax
Well, if it was, it was-
doubled from 2020
Let me
to
rephrase that.
2021.
Whatever Thompson Hose Company requested is what was done. I believe that they sent notices to all municipalities that they cover of a tax increase.
Now, wait a minute, you go back to 2018.
I'm not going back that far, Jack.
2018, well, this is where you got to start from now.
I'm
So
not,
from
I'm not. So,
2018.
unless you get a
You
court
folks
order,
never
I'm
did
I'm not
that
going
because
back to
you stopped
218, Jack,
the
without a
borough
court order.
tax,
It's
account.
not gonna happen, so,
What's not going to happen?
unless you get a court order, it's not gonna happen. I'm not going back to 2018.
Orders tonight, Carl.
Because I'm not gonna
I'm
do
just
it.
trying to
I'm
get
point
this
blank
straight.
telling you, I'm not going back to 218, case closed.
Well, what I am saying that you guys in 2021, you don't have to back to 18. You didn't pay at 18, you had it in the audit that you paid in 18.
That's okay, Jack, if you
But
can get a
now
state agency or a court
2021, you did it
to
wrong
correct this,
again.
go ahead and do it. Otherwise, we're not going to.
Not going to go up.
Go back to 218 and do anything.
Well, what about 2021? I'm
Well,
looking for an explanation why we just skipped
okay,
the...
well, at some point in time, we'll look into it. That's your explanation you're gonna get.
but you're already 10 months into doing it wrong.
Okay,
So when do you look into it?
at some point in time,
You've got a lot of point in time.
okay.
Is there any other business? Public participation?
Yes, I have a couple of things. The Struckaborough sign on King Hill Road was replaced. I put it up probably 2 months ago. And last Saturday, someone drove into it and twisted all around and bent it all up. The new sign. And
Where's this?
King Hill Road,
But whereabouts did you put it, Dave?
right where it was before, right on the borough line.
Okay, you're talking one up, okay.
Past Gursky's
Right.
house.
Yeah.
Right. I replaced it. The Civic Association bought the sign. I put it up for them. And it was last Saturday, someone, I thought they might have drove into it, went off the road, but from what I can see, I believe there was no skid marks going off the road, up the bank. It looks like somebody intentionally either was turning around, or they backed up or drove up to it slowly and pushed one post out and around, so it twisted the sign all up. That's the brand new sign. Nobody knows anything about it. Evidently, none of you have seen it, noticed it,
No.
No, I haven't.
but that happened last Saturday.
So this is 2 signs in a year?
Last year it was
approximately.
shot
Right,
through the middle.
correct.
This year with the new sign, I can see where the bumper hit the post up that high off the ground, and it slid up the post maybe that much further, and just pushed one pole out of the ground, so it just twisted the sign.
Was it the same language that was on the last sign? I
No.
know there was an issue with regard to,
It was
oh, it was changed
Native
a little.
Americans instead of the word Indians.
Gotcha, okay,
I guess that everybody felt that would be proper today,
right.
seeing the way things are going. But it was ruined. I won't say it's ruined. If someone wants to take it down, try to straighten it out, reset the post, you might be able to use it, but
Okay.
it wasn't there 2 months.
I don't see why people want to be so.
Was that 2 days ago, Dave, or 9 days, or not, makes any difference? Was that 2 days ago, or 9 days?
No, we
I said probably towards the
Not that
borough.
it makes any difference, what they did, they did.
And another question, I was at a meeting here a long time ago, and Demi was secretary. She turned in the letter from Thompson Fire Company, and it was late in the year. And I remember her stating the fire company millage was .24 or 2.8 in that letter that you read. It was previously .14. So according to that letter, it doubled, but have they changed it, that the borough had to pay less? Because I remember it was when your budget was announced a year ago, and that was brought up. I remember 2.4 because it doubled.
Correct.
And you already figured in the budget last year, it wasn't figured in. And I think this is where Jack is coming from, about the ordinance and this and that. To change the budget, that fire tax, after the budget was done, do you have to go through the ordinance of the order, can you just change it on your own? And I know it was .24, because it doubled, or 2.8, it was doubled from the
2.28.
time, it doubled from the year before. And I don't know what, I didn't look to see what we paid.
The best thing to do is look into it, you get back with an answer.
I mean, you don't know.
This is
if
when
we
we
paid
were meeting
2.8.
over here at
It was
the,
at the
correct.
hall.
That was like one of the January, February meetings of 2020.
21, yeah.
Okay, yeah, right.
And it was 2.8, which doubled from the previous
Right.
year. She turned the letter in real late. Instead of like October, it was either December or January meeting.
Right.
The best thing to do is they look into it and get back to you.
So, I mean, Thompson, you didn't talk to Thompson Fire Department, anybody, and they didn't say, well, pay 1.4 or 2.8.
Not to my knowledge.
I'm not sure what we paid last spring.
I'm gonna say it's .28, there's a contract, and I had to get a copy of the contract for 21 and then one for 22. But I do know that they sent letters around to all municipalities at that time.
That they were gonna double?
Yes.
Okay, so, but you did get the letter.
And I know there was a
2.2.
discussion whether or not we wanted to pay it or not, but what are we not, we're not gonna pay it. We pretty much pay what they're looking for,
Correct.
you know,
That's
so.
correct. I just was wondering,
Right.
they were saying, I know it was 2.8 in that letter. But one other item I wanted to ask, it's not really important, but the hall, where is the line, the property line? Is it the middle of the creek or the center of the bridge for going in that direction toward Little Ireland?
The best I can do is I can get you a copy of the map.
Well, I have a copy of the map, but it was, before it was just surveyed, you just had it surveyed, correct? It
Right.
used to say the center of the creek above the hall where the bridge is. That's what the old map had. Is it still there?
I would say if that's where it was previous, that's where it still is.
Okay,
But that line did not change.
all right. But I don't know what we can do about the sign.
Do you know if those posts are in concrete?
No.
No, they're not.
Those posts,
So we could just kind of pull it out if we wanted to, they're not buried in
I
concrete? No?
think you could straighten the post. I
Okay,
mean, pack it back, pack it
Right.
modified, get a good bar in there, poke it in, but the thing is, you gotta get the sign straight enough that it will still,
Right.
bolt holes will still line up because it's kinked. I think it's crazy to try to dig it all out and
I'll
reset.
be up within the next couple days to take it down and see what we can do about trying to straighten it out and then get it
I'm
set
sure it can
again.
be straightened, but I'm sure you're gonna lose maybe half inch, an inch, and that's gonna mesh up on the holes.
Okay,
And it's put
and,
on with 1/4 inch bolts instead of 5/16.
okay,
There was 5/16 prior,
yeah,
and they had the special lock nuts on them that you needed the special tool to get off. Well, two of them were broke, so the other two I had to twist
all
off.
right, so I'm not gonna run into any issue when I go up to take it out, just 1/4 inch?
They're
and
going
I'll
to
be
be
able to-
snapped, I put lock, or JB Weld over the
Okay,
nuts so nobody can take them off.
okay,
So, I mean, you can take the bolt head in of it,
right,
and probably snap them.
Yeah.
okay.
If,
How big around are those holes you dug and how deep?
I didn't dig them, they were already set, all that was wrong, the sign was
Okay.
shot, so I just took the old sign off and put a new sign on.
Okay,
All right,
and
I
you
appreciate that.
left the post right there then?
The post is, it's just the way the car or truck.
No, but I say,
I didn't change
The post,
anything,
okay.
just put a new sign on,
okay.
new sign, new bolts.
if that sign can be straightened, there used to be posts in the old hall across from me.
I don't believe the post has been at all.
Oh, okay.
It moved into soft dirt.
Oh, okay.
They just
I'm just saying
leave
if it was bent, there used to be some,
Yeah.
You
Only
can
one
take
of
a
those.
light wrench, turn it back so it's straight, and then whack
Well,
it back
it's
in.
just got, I think it's, if you get the sign straight, then you just pull it back and pack back around the base, it would be secure enough. You don't have to take the post, I don't think the post has been at all, because the ground gate probably, it's probably got a 6-inch hole in the ground where it leans.
are we gonna need to buy a trail cam to put up there?
That won't do either.
Somebody will steal that, right?
Your JB Weld name on the head, that's why they hit it. Couldn't seal it.
Well, they didn't have, I didn't have the special tool to get the nuts off on the old one. Luckily, one or two were broke, so I
If
snapped it
they're
up.
just standing
Thank you for going up to do that.
It only took me 3 hours to put it
Right,
up,
I'm
2
sure.
months for them to ruin it.
Right,
So,
No, it only took them about 2 minutes.
well, yeah, but it only lasted $300, almost $350, $60.
Right.
The Civic Association paid, and if you can't fix it, it's down the drain. You know, and I don't know if the Civic Association could pay by another one.
I'll go with Keith, see what we can do.
I can't guarantee it's gonna be perfect, but I'll do my best to try to get it
Well,
back.
I'm sure it can be fixed, it's, you know, you have to drill a new hole in the side.
Yeah, okay,
But just get the post tightened up, straighten the side, and see if you can hold it back.
you got it.
It's just like.
I haven't got time.
Viaduct, they
I
had
hear
a
you.
couple of
Okay,
signs.
thank you.
They put
Yeah.
it there under the viaduct, you know, where that stone thing is. Now they
The
put
other-
it out on.
Other
the road,
participation,
But that was stone.
not, I think the most.
I've got a couple things. Where's the borough computer now that Demi's no longer secretary?
Over there,
Huh?
over there.
Where's
They
their,
still got it.
Laura, or,
My bad, it's the Lawyers, I don't know.
so why is the mail still going to Laura? Shouldn't we change the mail back to box 83 since we don't have a secretary?
Well, she's gonna act, who's gonna take the bills over to her, you?
I would, yeah.
Yeah,
Got it, well, mail there, yeah.
no. We'll
Then we
just
could have the
wait.
bills at the meeting.
You heard the motion Darrell made to let her sign checks,
Yeah.
pay the bills until the end of
But the secretary is the one, because, you know, you got your bills to come in, should come to the secretary and then go to the treasurer. And all the other correspondence isn't gonna go to the treasurer, it's gonna go to the
What
secretary.
happens when you have a secretary treasurer?
It would go to that person,
Okay.
which was them.
council as a
I mean,
majority doesn't have a problem.
Realistically, we've got mail going to a private resident right now.
Okay.
Has there any emails or anything to the borough, on legal stuff from any state agencies? Either
Not that
email
I'm
or
aware
letters that's gone to the borough?
I've
or-
received nothing.
Huh?
I've received nothing. Have
The
you?
borough has nothing?
Not to my
State
knowledge.
agency or anything? In Ron Bouger's bill, does anybody know what that really entails from?
No. Well, I'm assuming,
Easement.
the subdivision for the
Subdivision
community
on
hall.
And you don't feel there's any conflict of interest with Ron being your personal attorney and you having for counsel, you being a council member?
I didn't know there was any interaction at this point in time between me and the borough.
Well, previously, with Ron Bouger representing you and getting your money, you know, one thing, getting your money.
Well, I guess if you can get documentation from somebody stating that we look at it.
Okay.
I have a question. What is the borough considering to obtain a meeting place?
We're still in the process of looking.
Looking. If anybody has anything, we'd be more than welcome to take a look. But we're currently weighing out all our options. We haven't had anything set in stone.
The borough has nothing in line right now or on the agenda of anywhere to look.
I'll say we're looking, but we don't have anything definitive.
Where you do have ideas.
Yes.
Could you share those ideas with the public, since it's public money?
Well, we haven't spent public money. When we're ready to spend public money, we'll share it with the public, Jack.
But you can't share it now.
No.
Why?
Then why were you at the church sale on Saturday trying to buy the
That
church?
would have been one potential option. We're not leaving any stone unturned.
Yeah, but I mean, if you weren't gonna spend public money until a decision was made, if you had won that bid,
A
a
motion was
decision would have
made
been made.
A motion
and-
was made to allow the community hall,
No,
the community hall committee
committee as a majority to purchase property.
to purchase property.
Are you gonna replace Mary Ann DeBacco on that committee?
At some point in time, yes.
You have to make a decision.
Well, there's an open seat now, shouldn't you advertise this one?
Yeah, there's an election tomorrow too. Anybody interested?
Well, election doesn't start until,
7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
it's not the same period.
January.
Correct.
New office.
Any new elected official doesn't go into January. So now you got somebody that needs to finish Mary Ann's term, but she's got 2 years and 2 months to finish.
Correct.
So since you can't get a quorum 2 out of 3 months, don't you think it would really be beneficial to advertise that this month in the paper? To try to get another council member?
Why can't we get a quorum?
You gotta tell me that, you're the one that posted over there, no meeting because of the lack of quorum.
We've had a quorum both the last 2 months, Jack.
Well, what about for council, how many meetings have you not had a quorum all year long? What, four?
Without going back, I
Five?
can't answer you, Jack.
Huh?
Without going back and looking since the first year, I can't.
Well, you've had 2 or 3 anyway, right? So that's what I'm saying. You have had past meetings without a quorum. Wouldn't you think maybe it would be really the best interest of the borough to put this in the paper for an
That's
advertisement?
not what this is about.
What's that?
That's not what this is about.
Well, I know.
Okay.
You're right.
Well, I make a motion during the meeting.
I'll second that motion.
I vote yes.
I vote yes.
Dora
Al
Haynes,
Haynes.
yes.
Steve Payne, yes.
Jason, no.
Well, you can stay, Jason.
I will do.
You know, as I said before, there's elections. If you don't like the way government's being run, get on council. It won't be hard to get seats.
Mary approved that, didn't she?
Yes.